deal with. Let them deal with some of the problems we deal with. Every time somebody black do something, somebody white jump on their back and try to make it, and then they wonder why we run around calling motherfuckers bitches. What else would you call somebody that try to take away your livelihood? What do you have left? But our survival skills. Dang, I mean, don't take that away. Rapping is all we really got now. And the only reason we talk harshly is because we living harshly right now. When we all start living better, we'll all start talking better. Y'all know how bad it is out there. You watch the news like I watch the news. All these little kids dying. The world just bugged out. I remember like problems, but it wasn't as bad as it is now for like the younger generation. So we have to be more compassionate towards them. And rappers are compassionate. It might not seem like that, but we are. With no compassion, you know, it's just violence without morals, and it's just like, don't do that, y'all. Best thing to do is let this stuff run its course. What is a thug's passion? What does a thug yearn for? Success and to be respected. This message to the dude that shot me 5 times. I'm still here. Nigga, get some bullets that kill somebody, man. Don't be shooting a nigga and letting him live, man. That's wrong. If you gonna come shoot me, kill me. If you're not gonna kill me, stop shooting me. Don't come for me unless you're gonna come and get me. Tell me, they can't take the man from the money, take the money from the man. Exactly. Take me from my money and put me in the jailhouse. Nigga was innocent like a motherfucker. My desire, my ambition, everything is increased. Change is unwiser. So what they did was jumpstart me to be a better man. Why they let me go, I don't know, but I'm out. Now we all know black people gonna survive regardless. My homeboys still carrying on the thug, trying to move up and go to the next level. Now my drive is insatiable. And I feel like God put his hands on me. To the judges that let me out on bail, I'm trying to do my best. I'll be coming back stronger and harder. Steady. Next level. Tupac Shakur.
What's up, fam? It is your girl Jen Ether. Tonight, as promised, we are going to be discussing Tupac. We're going to discuss Pac and what made his brand so epic. When we talk about branding, basically, we're talking about what the person was known for. So just think of your brand as being your reputation. Everyone that's on the face of the earth and everything, for the most part, is branded, even if you're unaware of it. So the reason why I enjoy Tupac so much is because a lot of his branding that he was doing was unintentional. At least, I believe, through the views of, or through the lens of his eyes. Now, whatever the big company was doing, especially when they got the war against the East and the West rolling, that was marketing on another level. But as far as just Pac's individual journey, the way he branded himself, that was unintentional. And right now we're going to look at a couple things that made Tupac's brand able to stand the test of time. Why do we still care about Tupac so many years later? And how was Tupac able to take over the rap game in just a few years? Let's get straight into it. Tupac had many personalities. Let's start there. Whenever you're talking about someone's brand, you're talking about what they're known for. What is it that Tupac does? So Tupac, being a guy that had so many different personalities, he did a lot of things. This is what makes someone shocking. Like Tupac, because of this, he brought a lot of shock value. So if you were someone like, for me, I mean, first of all, I was young as hell when Tupac was out. Probably like from the ages of 7 to maybe, I'm talking about the timeline that I remember, from the timeline that I remember first seeing Pac to when he died. I know I was in the 5th grade when he died, so I was like 10. So probably from like 7 years old to 10 is my span of like being introduced to Tupac. But my first introduction has got to be like Brenda's Got a Baby. So you see in the video, he got the kids on his, bound. He's, no, they like to shoot you down a lot. Come around you clown a lot. So you're seeing a very humble Tupac. If that's how you first met Pac, then you saw a humble Tupac. So to your surprise, when you start seeing videos with Tupac like, throwing them up in the air, spitting in your face, get out of the way, get that camera out my face, doing all that, you're going to be like taken back. Like, wait, is this the same guy? So just the fact that this guy had so many different personalities alone makes him intriguing. That's fact number one. He had the good guy, and not that he was putting on either. Like, all of this was authentically him. It's different if someone's making these personas up and they're living them out, and it's not authentic to who he truly was. But the fact that all of this was truly him, that's what made it so real. That's what made it so intriguing. That's what made people want to know more. I mean, especially in a time period where hip hop isn't what it is today. Hip hop at that time period was still questionable. It was still considered to a lot of people as just a fad. It was still something that could possibly disappear in Tupac's era. So Pac was definitely one of the people that stamped hip hop into, this thing called history. Like, this is staying. So, period. Number one, Tupac had many different personalities, and within these personalities, he was authentic. They were authentically him. He wasn't putting on every piece that you've seen, whether it was him caring about mothers, caring about homeless people. We talked a lot about that, about why the churches ain't opening up shelters where homeless people can live in them. He even got to the point where he refused to do a song with Michael Jackson. Mike wanted to work with him, and if y'all know me, y'all know Michael Jackson is my top tier favorite guy. But at this time, and Mike, he's done a lot. But at this point in time, we ain't know what Mike had did, so I respect Tupac completely, because the way it's looking is like, Mike, you the richest superstar in the world. What are you doing? You're rich. What are you doing to give back? Now, like I said, Mike was doing a lot to give back, but we didn't know that. And at that time, we didn't have the internet, so you really didn't see much. So Pac refused to work with Mike because he felt like, I don't know if you really about our people. That was pretty much it. So he was authentically an activist. He was authentically someone who cared about black people, black education. His mom was a Black Panther, and he was raised by two Black Panthers, so that's what gave him that authentic side with it. Wasn't made up. This is how he was raised. Then he had his art side. He went to performing arts school in Baltimore. That's where we get to kind of know about the friendship that he formed with Jada Pinkett. So he went to performing arts school in Baltimore, but still in the hood. He still was raised in the hood. So you got the performing arts side where he's dancing, he's singing, he's acting. Then he's growing up in the hood. His mom ends up getting on drugs, so he's dealing with the realities of that situation. And then he has the Black Panther side. So his mom had many personalities as well. We're not talking schizo, but just many different facets that almost contradicted themselves. This is what makes for an interesting person, an interesting brand. And the fact that it was all authentic, makes it even sweeter. So, the fact that Tupac came from a background of living in the hood, really having to come up the best way he knew how, but also had the background of going to theater, performing art school, performing in theater, performing dance, getting his acting chops started, and then having the background of being raised by Black Panthers. These three main things are the things that came together to make Tupac's brand super interesting. So, like I said, at any point in your journey, if you met Tupac and you saw him talking about filling up the churches with homeless people and how we need to be, making sure we're getting rid of basically homelessness, and basically if you met him on his activism, then like I said, you're going to be shocked when you hear hit 'em up. Like, same guy? But if you heard hit 'em up, let's say if that's the first time you heard Pac, was hit 'em up, East Side, West Side beef, all this shit, him talking shit to Biggie about faith. If let's say that's the Pac then you're going to be intrigued when you hear him talking that activism stuff. And that's even more captivating, because the guy who really was intrigued by Pac because of the hood, because of that hood element that he carried. Once they hear him talking about something a little deeper, talking about some worldly situations and about what he's trying to do to make something happen, then it's going to open their mind like, oh shit, you can be more than one thing? Like, yes, you can be. So these are the things that made Pac highly interesting. He came from the background of being raised by Black Panthers. He also had a background in performing arts school where he got his feet wet with performing arts as far as dancing, acting, and all of that. Then he also grew up in the middle of the hood and had to watch his mom basically struggle with drug addiction. These three things are definitely what made Tupac's brand unforgettable. Because of these things that he went through, he was able to give it back to us. So a lot of a lot of things that we saw Tupac give us was because of these things, because of what made Tupac who he was. So I hope this was helpful. When it comes to building a brand, like I said, it's your reputation. It's what you're known for. Pac was known for all of these things. Pac was known to be an activist. Pac was known to be a bomb performer. Pac also was known to have a relentless work ethic. I'll say that's the last piece of what solidified Tupac's brand, was that work ethic. Because he was in the studio so much, because he would literally knock out, maybe, let's say Pac was knocking out like 10 songs a day. That's a lot of songs in 4 years. So how was Tupac able to take over the rap game in 4 years and still be revered as one of the top rappers in the top 5 20-something years after his death? His work ethic. So when you put together all those three facets that I initially said, his upbringing, Black Panthers, activism, then just being a badass out in the streets, then you put work ethic to it once he becomes a rapper. So he really is going hard with telling his story, telling how he feels, really expressing himself. He's able to do that 10 times a day and complete works in forms of songs. It's a force to be reckoned with. So this means this is the reason why long after his death, there's still music that can be put out by Pac. So that is the bonus answer on why Tupac and how Tupac was able to take over the rap game in such little time. He put in work, and he had multiple different personalities who made up one man. So you couldn't really catch a beat on him, which made him even more interesting. It made him intriguing. It made you want to know more. That is how Tupac was able to take over the rap game in less than 5 years. It's your girl, Jen Ether. I'm out. Peace.